Hello, my name is Don, and welcome to the Barndominium Life channel. Now, you can tell at a glance I'm no Eric Cortina. He does a great job with his videos. I'm not going to carry you around from job site to job site, but I am going to carry you around the country to interviews with folks who have actually built their own barndominiums. We're going to start today with a couple named Greg and Sue Arthur from Oak Grove, Missouri. They built a wonderful two-story barndominium with a basement, and I think you're going to want to see this. So stay tuned. I would like to know a little bit more about how you started the journey to your barndominium and who built it for you, or if you built it out yourselves, or
We kind of drew up our plans about 15 years ago, I think.
On paper.
Just on a piece of paper, shoved it in a drawer, and said, "Well, someday we're going to build this after the kids are grown and out of the house." It was meant to be much smaller than what it is,
okay,
but we just one day we said, "You know what? Let's sell." We bought some property, and we bought 5 acres, and 3 years ago, I think. And we had a friend that had did some work for us at our other house, and we had gone to him and said, "Hey, would you want to take on this project? We just need you to build it. We're going to do all the interior." And he did, and he took it on, and we got an architect and kind of helped us with the plan, kind of.
Well, he's built a lot of barns and built regular homes too. So he knew, pretty much how to do both of them. So it was the best of both worlds, I guess.
okay.
Yeah.
15 years ago, I don't know that barndominiums were even a term or anything.
Not barndominiums weren't, no, but there were some around here where people, just regular pole barns that converted them into houses.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of his dream, He thought, "Man, this would be a great retirement for us," And then all of a sudden we started seeing them everywhere. We're like, "Oh."
Yeah,
Yeah, there's quite a few of them around here.
Okay, and in Missouri, now, they started in Texas, I think, or they're reputed to have started in Texas, and then have branched out all over. I even got a note from somebody in Hawaii.
Really?
Wow.
And I saw one that I'm going to feature later on, probably later today. One in Wales,
Oh my
United Kingdom,
goodness.
and it's a
Wow.
beautiful barndominium.
Yeah.
But anyway, how much of the work did you folks end up doing?
We did most of the finish work, the trim, the woodwork,
The flooring,
flooring, painting.
insulation,
Ooh, wow.
painting.
So our builder, he built the building. He did all of our concrete work too, everything but the foundation walls. He had another guy do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but he did basically all the concrete work, all the framing, the metal work, and roughed in our interior. And then we took it from there.
Okay, all right. And I'm sorry, and just make sure I'm right. You two physically did that. You didn't contract. You didn't act as general contractor and run a bunch of subs through there, right? You did it yourself.
We hired a HVAC guy.
Oh yeah, sure.
And then we hired an electrician to wire it because of the codes.
Mm-hmm.
Because this all had to be inspected and be up to the county codes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we had a plumber come in and do the rough in plumbing and all that. But we did all the finish work.
Okay.
Everything you see when you come inside, that's what we did.
Yeah. Well, Sue, are you good at holding up drywall on the ceiling? You prop it up with a dead man or something? Or?
Yeah. we went and bought scaffolding.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid of heights, but
okay.
Our walls are 26 feet
to the
Holy
pitch.
cow.
To the pitch.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
That was scary, let me tell you, because I'm afraid
I bet
of heights.
It was. Scary enough doing it on an 8-foot ceiling.
Yeah. Well, initially this was going to be all on slab, but the ground had way too much fall on it. So they said, well, you're going to have 8-foot walls underneath it. I said, well, might as well go ahead and do a basement.
Mm.
Well, that's where the basement came in play because the ground just had too much fall. So we went ahead and put the basement in. Underneath the living area is all the basement. The garage, the shop, it's all on fill with slab.
Yeah.
So the house basically has a partial basement, under the living area.
It has another 1,500 underneath it with a walkout that goes out to the pool. So.
Okay, well, and you haven't finished that out yet, I don't guess.
We're working on it right now.
Okay,
That's what we're doing right now.
And the
Yeah,
loft,
it's never-
and the loft you haven't finished out either, right?
No, it's done. It's finished.
Oh, you did? Okay.
It's 500 square feet up there, and it's we have a couch, and it's just a living area up there.
It's open. Yeah, the whole loft's open. We have a rebar railing around it that we used. Was a 3/4 inch rebar for the railing.
We wanted something different. Everything in here, we just said we want to go different, and so we tried to find special wood. We went and bought blue beetle pine, and we just wanted to do everything a little different than the norm.
Okay, well, that's neat.
Yeah.
The basement, it's not unheard of, but it sure is unusual. I don't think I've run across anybody else who has one with a barndominium.
Well, it's basically this house. It's frame. It's all stick frame, just like a house. It's not.
Okay.
It's all 2x6 walls. Everything is set on foundation walls, concrete, bolted down, and it's all stick built. We call them a hybrid barn around here. There's no poles in the ground. Everything. It's built just like a house. It just has metal siding on it. So that's what it looks like a barn. It looks, and it's got a lot of lumber in it.
Yeah.
So
a lot of lumber.
I don't know, I'd say about 95% of the barns around here are all lumber. They're all post frame or, we don't see very many all steel buildings around here as far as, the homes.
Yeah. Did it make much of a difference in terms of, you mentioned the restrictions or the regulations. How about in terms of insurance or taxes or?
We haven't had any trouble at all. It's just the insurance company just carried us right over from our other house, and we didn't have, the banks were a little bit weird. They were like, well, they're getting to be so popular now. They're accepting them as regular houses now, but they wanted our appraiser, I guess. He had to convince the underwriters that it was more than a house, not less than a house. So he did some research on barndominiums and barn homes. And it has more lumber in it than a regular house,
Wow.
So it appraised out really well, and the banks didn't have any issues. We went with the conventional loan,
Yep.
So.
Wow, through your local bank.
Yeah.
Yep. It went very smoothly. We had no problems at all.
I read that a lot on the website or the Facebook pages. People wonder about the financing, and the insurance, but really we have no trouble at all. I mean, and with all of our friends, we got 2 friends right now building one, and they're in the finishing stages, and we told them about you guys, and they're really nice places too, and they haven't had any trouble, I don't think, as far as insurance and all that. And
it's becoming less of an issue than it was like a year ago. It was really hard to get a loan.
But I think 15 years ago we wouldn't have been able to get a loan.
No. They would have said you're gonna put up a barn and live in it. I don't get it.
That's right. They'd be like, what? No, our taxes are just like a home. They base it off of, the bedrooms, the how many bathrooms and all that. They could care less. They want their money. They don't care.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's interesting to hear though that there's more wood in it than a conventional home. That's something I hadn't heard.
Yeah.
Well, did you already have the lot, the acreage? How many acres do you sit on?
5. Yeah, we bought it a year in advance.
About 2 years in advance is when we bought our property. So.
Okay.
Yeah, and we knew what we wanted to do with it, so we bought land that didn't have any restrictions on it. Because some of the
Oh,
land around here, yeah, there is some land around here, like people are dividing like into 3 to 5 acre lots, and they put like HOAs on them and everything else. And in that case, yeah, you could probably they wouldn't allow you to build a barndominium on it. But we found this land didn't have any restrictions on it. It was just basically it was zoned agricultural. So the neighbors were wondering what we were doing, but
yeah, I bet they were.
Yeah, they're like, they love it now, but at first they were scared. Oh my God, what are they doing?
Yeah,
what are they doing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and moving, did you move from an urban area then, not another rural
No,
area?
we lived we had a horse farm. We had 15 acres out in the country before for 22 years. And it was so far out, we were on gravel, so we wanted to get off gravel and we wanted to get into closer to work. So we sold out there and moved in here. So we downsized actually.
On our property, but not on the house.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Well,
how that happened.
You look at the exterior of your barn though, and it looks huge.
Yeah.
The porches maybe give it that appearance, but when Sue said it was what 3,500 square feet in the living area
with the basement, yes,
okay.
we're putting 2 bedrooms downstairs, a rec room, and another bathroom.
So. The building's a 50 by 70 basically,
right.
With 15-foot walls. Open. We did scissor trusses, to really open it up on the inside, and then the 12-foot porches all the way around. Yeah, it makes it look really big. When you drive up, it looks massive. We get all these comments about your house is so big. It's like, well, it's not really that big, But,
well, and what portion of it is shop? It's pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, I got 4. What is it like?
It's about 2,100 square feet shopping garage.
Okay.
Yeah, the garage was supposed to be 44 by 50, but she stole some of it. But they put a bathroom, and the architect kind of put some of this stuff.
A mud room and a bathroom.
Yeah.
They took a little bit of it, but that was okay because I had a big shop at my other house, separate. So that's why we wanted to do this. We just wanted to combine them together so I could just walk out there and work, or do, tinker with stuff. And then, we got some old tractors. I got a lot of woodworking tools, and we're going to put a 2-post lift in so my son can work on cars and I can work on my cars. So.
And everything, like all of our doors, is wheelchair accessible because there's no lip. We just roll right into the house, and in case when we get older, we can just roll right in. There's no stairs.
Well, and I am confined to a wheelchair or a recliner like I am now, and I never thought I'd be in that position. So that's good planning.
Right. I mean, you just don't know, and we just made sure everything was open and we could get in and out and without any stairs. And we have the loft that has stairs, but we don't have to go there, and we don't need to. So everything is on this level, and our master bedroom's up here and everything. And then we have, like I said, we put 2 more bedrooms downstairs and a bathroom and a rec room. And
that's what everybody's doing these days. They want the open floor plan, like
sure.
Our kitchen's right here next to the living room, and so it's real handy. We love it.
We do. We love it.
I'll bet. Well, let me ask a nuts and bolts question, Greg. What'd you do about insulation?
The whole building's wrapped with an 1.5-inch foam board with the foil back on it.
Okay.
And it has a house wrap on it too, and that's kind of like just I don't know, I call it a vapor barrier, but that's in between the metal and the nailers, so it's pinched in between the nailers and the metal. And then we have R19 through the whole house, fiberglass insulation. We were going to do foam, but it was so expensive that we just decided to go ahead and do fiberglass. And it's very quiet. We don't really hear the rain, too bad. Because you notice we have a metal ceiling. So our roof line, our ceiling follows the trusses, and everything up there. So we only have so many inches, up there anyway. So But it's really quiet. I was worried about it being noisy with the metal roof, but
Yeah, I'll
it's really
bet.
not. Yeah. Yeah, you walk out in the shop. The shop's just got the foam board right now. I'm going to put a ceiling out there and blow in insulation one of these days. And but it's yeah, you walk out there, it's way louder. You know, you can really hear it raining, but when you walk in here, it's real quiet. And that's just because I haven't finished that out there yet. You know, I'm working on it, so it's a work in
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah, I'll bet. Well, and you still you got a full-time job, right?
Yeah, yeah,
What kind of
yeah.
work do you do?
We took some big. I'm a machine operator. Yeah, we make boxes and stuff, but I
Okay.
learned a lot of the wood. I used to do horse trailers and stuff, the inside of horse trailers, living quarters. So I learned a lot about trimming, you know, and building cabinets and everything else. So, you know, I've done a lot of that myself. So that's why the interior work wasn't that big a deal. You know, all the trim work and everything went pretty easy, you know, and we're real rustic. So, you know, yeah.
You don't need a big space to live in, I don't guess.
No.
Did you stay in a camper or something while you were finishing it out?
Yes, yes. We lived in our camper.
We have another building that's down to the west of us that we built that encloses our camper, and that's where we stayed while we built.
Yeah, I had them build that first, and they did that in like 2 days. And we backed the camper in there, and we had power going there. We had water going there,
Mm-hmm.
and we had all the utilities hooked up and everything. We lived in it for 6 months?
Well,
Off
close
and
to
on.
6-7 months is what we lived in
Yeah.
it until we
Okay.
couldn't. It got too cold. Then we moved in with my brother-in-law for a couple
Oh,
months.
Yeah. So now I can't gear to go camping anymore. I don't know why, but
yeah.
We'll
Oh,
get
blame
back.
you. You've done all that you want.
yeah. Yeah, the camper's just sitting down there now. I need to get out and clean it up. But yeah, I can't get her to go camping. She says she's sick of the camper. So
Yeah. Well, what about some of the interior decorating touches, Sue? I mean, I saw a bar, and
Yes, that's my wine bar. I
okay.
love wine.
yeah, she's got
Uh,
very good taste in decorating, and all of her friends come to her for decorating ideas.
oh,
So
I can believe it. Sure.
yeah.
And the kitchen looks pretty neat too.
Yeah, we had a guy. He's actually a friend of my brother-in-law's, and he has his own cabinet shop in Trimble, Missouri. And he just does unique work. And we got a hold of him, and he's the one who actually built our cabinets. They're Naughty Alder, and I wanted a different technique on our island, and he did a rustic black rub off, and he did a fantastic job on those. But I can't take credit for any of that.
No.
But
Well, you had the vision for it.
yeah, he walked me through, and he made the wine bar, and he did all of that. So he did a really good job. But
Oh, so
we were
that's a
lucky that way.
custom
So
made. Well, what other interior touches do you have, or would you recommend? Or I mean, it's all each barndominium seems to be tricked out. I mean, strictly according to the homeowner's tastes. And some people say it hurts resale, but most people say, "Well, I'm not moving anyway." So
Yeah.
well, and that's what everybody's been asking us. That's come in here. We have people stop all the time, and I try to tell them with these particular type of homes, it's an open canvas.
oh, that's right.
Our plan is to live here till we can't live here anymore, and then it's our kids' problem.
Yeah.
But so we built this house for us. And, a lot of people say, it can be taste specific and those types of things. But I guess if you're building it to resell, you need to think along those lines. But we built it for us to live in here forever, and then we're done. So
Yeah, I don't think I've run into maybe a handful of people who have said they're doing it for any kind of speculation or
right,
or anything like that.
right.
Because the open floor plan, if I come in there and I don't like what you've done, I'll just take it out and put up what I want.
That's right,
There's,
and
there's
so
no,
easy.
There's no load supporting walls, because what you got the trusses holding the building up.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much open to whatever you want to do in them.
Mhm.
You know, which that's one of the things I like most about it. You know.
Well, and like we've talked, people coming in here, they're always asking all different money questions about it. And, when you go build a regular house, you have a builder and he says, okay, this house is $400,000 and this is what you get. And you get to pick. And here you can, you can build it as cheap as you want or as expensive as you want. You can go with, 4-inch walls, and you can do a lot of stuff to cut back. Or you can, it's your canvas. You can do whatever you want with it. And that's what I like about it,
Well, exactly. And in over on Facebook over the last year, I've noticed that asking how much per square foot somebody paid for their barndo it's not a taboo subject exactly, but it's,
Right.
People don't really like to talk about it much. Anyway, I'm not going to be crass enough to ask how much per square foot yours is, but it came out in your favor, I guess.
Well, like us, when people ask us, well, how much do you have in here? Well, I could tell you how much I have in here, but it's not what you would be able to build it for, because we did a lot of the work.
Oh, sure.
And we came into this selling our farm, so we had cash. I was able to pay my contractors cash, and I ended up getting 10, 15, 20% off.
Oh.
So on some of them. So we ended up doing, you know what I mean? We ended up being able to get a lot marked off of ours. So, and us doing a lot of the labor. So I know what I have in it, he and I, but I couldn't, we know what it appraises for, and
Sure.
it appraised wonderfully.
Well, I'm
We
glad
were
to hear that.
wow. So
Yeah.
great.
It was
Let's
worth it.
sell and move to Florida.
Yeah, it was worth all of it. Well, most of the people say that this is they've adopted the term their forever home.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's neat to think that you're going to move into a place and be there until you're so old they're going to have to carry you out.
That's right.
And we found, I found probably 4 or 5 different people around here that build them, and the prices varied so much, and the prices they gave me. So, and we knew Joey, the guy that did ours. We knew him really well, knew his whole family. So it went really well. Really no headaches, no.
And he got so much publicity off of ours. He's booked up now for probably 2 years.
I'll bet.
we have people stop by here daily or weekly.
Leave notes on our door.
No.
It's crazy. We never would have thought. But
Yeah, you have to lock your gate.
Yeah.
well, we don't have one, but I need one. Yeah.
So I said, we need to put a gate out here because it's crazy.
They just come up and knock on the door, and,
Yep.
Yeah,
which is fine. We don't mind, but
go to Tractor Supply. I don't need a cattle guard. I need a people guard.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, we're right on the corner of a main highway. We got kind of a main highway over here, and then we live on the side road, so people can see it pretty good, especially in the winter time. In the summertime, we have a big tree line that blocks it, but in the winter they can really see it. So we had a lot of people stop by. Everyone loves it.
We were the talk of the town.
Yes, I'll bet you were.
It's the porches. I think the porches really make it a lot more attractive,
Sure.
as far as you hang the porches on it, that really makes a big difference.
Yep.
It's nice. You can walk all the way around your house without getting wet.
Yeah. Or you can go out depending on whether it's morning or evening and watch the sunrise or the sunset.
We love it. Oh my goodness. Yes.
Yeah, the porches are the biggest bonus, I think. That in my garage,
Yeah. Yeah, I had one guy who sent in, he posted his ideal barndominium, and it was like, I don't know, 500 square feet living area and 4,500 square feet shop.
Oh, yeah. That's perfect.
I tell you.
Well, I got to ask you one other question. I have one lady that, I don't know, they'd been moved in 2 or 3 days, and she stepped outside her back door, and there was a rattlesnake. Yeah. And, of course, they killed it. But somebody from around there pointed out, said, well, ma'am, they were here before you were. Have y'all had any kind of problems with that or with other critters? around your
Uh,
property?
Oh, we had a lot of deer,
A
stuff
lot
like
of deer.
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think they think they're pets. They come right up to the house and just hang
Oh,
out.
Mm.
They're not scared of all. Yeah, it's weird. No, we live out in the country still. I mean, this is still country, even though we have houses around us, a little bit. But we're used to it because we've been out in the farm,
oh,
for 22 years.
well,
So
sure. Yeah, that's right.
I've only seen one snake around here, since we moved in. But
Mm.
Yep. But that's about it.
Well,
yeah, but the house,
okay. Well,
well, the way they built the house, with they do the rat guard around the bottom of the metal. Then they run the concrete right up to it, so it really seals the house up. We don't have any trouble in the house with anything, as far as insects or anything like that.
okay. Yeah. Well, you're certainly not going to have well, maybe you will have termites. So much wood in there, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's all concrete basically around the house. And then, yeah, whenever we did the basement, went ahead and did floor joists like a regular house. So it has a sill plate around it, with the floor joists. And so basically it's built just like a conventional house, as
Yeah.
far as the living area, but it's just beefed up, it's just massive, the framework and everything.
Well, you know an awful lot about construction for a guy who's not in the construction business.
Oh, I just been around it, you know, I just know how things are built, basically,
Hmm.
just research.
Yeah. Well,
And
that came in handy.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Saves us a lot of money.
Yeah, bet it does.
And we had there's a guy up north here that so we drew the house out on paper, but I didn't really know how to fit like the bathroom and stuff in there and the shower, make everything fit right. So I got a hold of an architect that I found through someone, and he said about 85% of his business is metal homes. And he drew it out for us, and it really wasn't that bad as far as what we paid him. And I think it was like about $1,500, something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
But
that's not
he
bad.
drew it
That's
all out, yeah.
Yeah.
And he gave us prints, on it, and that helped too. Him being around it, he really knew how to. He drew the prints up, somewhat. He's not an engineer, but he drew them up for the builder, or my guy that built my barn.
hmm
So they kind of really went off of them too, when they were doing a lot of the work.
I'll bet.
That really helped out a lot.
Yeah.
Did it make a difference at your bank that you had those?
Uh, I think it probably did. I mean, well, I don't know if they liked it. They liked to be able to look at it, physically look at the picture of the house. Because, whenever
Hmm.
he drew out the plan, he drew out the interior, the exterior of it and everything, and
Oh,
the
wow.
views of it.
I think it gave
So,
them an idea
yeah.
of the quality that we were going to build.
And I think the county liked it. Whenever I went up to get my permits, I said, here you go, this is what we're doing. And they've actually been around them a little bit here, in the county. So they knew what I was doing. So it was really the restrictions and everything weren't too bad. It was just basically basic restrictions on the house. There wasn't anything special.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it went really smooth.
Yep.
Cool. Well, I don't want to keep you too long. Do you have any advice for other folks who are thinking about doing what you've done?
I don't know.
I say keep
I
keep
just
an
said
open
keep doing.
mind.
Yeah,
Do what you want to do. Make it your own. Be very creative. If you put something in there and you don't like, change it. It's not. You just have. These are so much fun to be able to do what you want. You don't have to go to. It doesn't have to be like everybody else's. Even though the outside may look like a lot of the barndominiums may look alike, other than color, the inside you can just do whatever you want. Make it as grand as you want. Make it as simple. They're fun. They're a lot of fun.
Okay. Well, at least you don't have a builder telling you that you can only have granite or
That's right.
formica or whatever they put on
Yep. Yep.
countertops. You
Hmm.
can do whatever you want.
We can, and we did.
Well, that's
Well, and just to revisit this, how long did you plan for it? I mean, how long you were in planning for 15 years, right?
Yeah,
That's
probably just on and off. We just kept getting ideas, and we watched a lot of that Eric Cortina, I believe it is.
Oh yes,
All
Eric,
that.
he's everywhere.
Oh my gosh, we just kept adding things, and we just kept changing. Even once we started building, we would find different things and go, I really like that idea. Let's do that. So
well,
Mhm.
the metal companies around here, because this metal all came from Richmond Metal, which is a local metal company. I think the Mennonites own it, I think, but they, the trim and everything has come a long ways, over the years, as far as all the metal and the trim and everything. Because the trim work and everything they did on the outside just looks phenomenal. It really makes them look really nice. And plus we look at a lot of Morton buildings too, like their website. They have a lot of nice buildings on there.
Yeah.
We got a lot of ideas from their buildings too, which they do really nice work. I just couldn't afford
Morton
it.
does do nice work. Yeah, they're at the high end, but they do
very
nice work.
expensive, right?
Yeah, and there's really no difference in this building. I mean, they do nice work, definitely.
Yeah.
But,
we did our version of it.
yeah, I've had people ask me if this is a Morton building. I'm like, no.
Well, okay. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate you calling me this morning.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you